To see how this works in situ, I'm now in Caption Hub, and to generate voiceover, I'll need either original captions or translations present to begin my work. Now, to actually generate synthetic voice, I'll want to jump into the language version for which I want to create voiceover for. So here I'll pop into my Spanish subtitles. I see I have those captions present. They're looking good and are a really great basis for the voiceover I want to go on to create. To generate that voiceover, I'll want to navigate to display options where I'll click into editor type and jump into voiceover. Here I'm prompted to generate voiceover as I don't have voiceover for this language yet, so I'll go ahead and do that. And I have a few selections to make now, including my voiceover provider. I'll go with 11 Labs. I'll then want to choose one of the speakers available to me by language. I'll go with Chris. And if I wanted to sample Chris's voice or any other voices available from the drop-down list, I would hit this speaker icon. I have the option to apply a voice dictionary here, which biases the voiceover output to pronounce words, names, and phrases exactly as you want them to be presented in the voiceover output. I won't apply one today, but I will go ahead and generate voiceover. You're always informed of the billing event that will occur, since minutes are deducted at the point of generating voiceover for this particular feature. Go ahead and hit confirm, and we see that we are generating voiceover. So here we go. Caption Hub has used our Spanish subtitles to generate sentence-based voiceover output. We can hit play here.
Me llamo Will Butler Adams.
And I may want to mute the original or source track, that English track, and take it from the top again.
Me llamo Will Butler Adams.
And what I can do is actually take full control over the output. So I can move these clips around on the timeline. I can also make them shorter by taking my mouse on the outer edge of the clip, dragging it in or out. Of course, if I pull that in, it will significantly speed up the playback.
Me llamo Will Butler Adams y soy director.
That's not exactly what I want. I can undo that tempo change by navigating to the upper right and undoing that. And you see that you have the original audio waveform here below in the timeline, which helps make sure that my voiceover is precisely aligned. So I may want to speed this up just slightly. I can also interact with the timeline by right-clicking, which allows me to insert a pause or reset the tempo to the original output. Now, just note that we will insert a pause exactly where you've placed your cursor, so make sure that you do that with precision. And you'll always know exactly where you are based on where you place your cursor and see the green tick. So if I want to go ahead and insert a pause here, I can do so. I can expand that pause or shorten its duration. It's really important to note that clips on the waveform may not overlap. If and when they do, they will turn red and you will be required to correct them before you can go on to export that audio. Now, it's worth noting that any edits or adjustments made to the timeline do not incur any charges or billing events. What we can also do here is actually update the copy itself. So let's say I wanted to change this from Brompton Bicycle to Caption Hub. I can interact with the copy as you see. When I click out of making that change, doing so has rendered this clip stale, as indicated by the brown color that you see here, and requires regenerating that clip in order to produce the new synthetic voice that reflects the copy you see here. To regenerate that stale clip, I'll hit this icon here to regenerate, and you'll see that this action does incur a billing event for the seconds or fraction of seconds of the video that we need to reprocess. I'll go ahead and hit continue, and you'll see that we've regenerated that voiceover output to represent the new and updated copy. So let's go ahead, taking it from the top. Listen to how that sounds.
Me llamo Will Butler Adams y soy director general de Caption Hub.
I think that sounds pretty cool, and we're really thrilled for you to check this out if you haven't already. Once I'm finished and happy with my synthetic voice output, you can download the audio-only track from the voice editor here directly, where you'll be prompted to download the audio type that you wish. That's either the mixed down track that will include all tracks in the player and their current volume and settings exactly as you were to hear it if you hit play. And the other option is to download the synthetic voice only. I also have the option here to render or download the voiceover video. Doing so will bring me to the Export tab, where I'll need to follow the steps to render that voiceover. Returning to the Spanish voiceover that we were working on, you can see the voiceover status is marked as completed. It's already been generated, and we've seen that in the voiceover editor. At this point, I can go ahead and render that voiceover. Again, I have the option to choose how I want the voiceover to be rendered into the video. And in this case, let's say I want the voices only. Once that's finished processing, I can come in and download that rendered voiceover here.